Welcome guys, welcome to another episode. This week I'm afraid we got a few little changes to what I was originally talking about. In the beginning of the intro, this is a new intro, in the beginning of the other intro I talk about doing the 240 volt switch over switches. Now I claim that I'm going to do the work this week along with this, but I just got a bit carried away with this, to be honest with you. So this week is all about this wall, going from the picture you're about to see, this picture, to the image that you see behind me, and I do touch on the electrics in brief to explain how this is going to work, and then I kind of return back to this. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to press the like button, and please share and all that lot, and I thank you ever so much for all the kindness you gave me on the previous video. Cue the intro. Very late afternoon. A very late afternoon indeed. It's a Saturday. Oh, I said Sunday. It's been a while since we've been in here. I mean, I think I stopped work on this sort of early December. Everything was just getting on top of me in here, and I just couldn't see an end. In fact, I very nearly gave up. Very nearly. And I thought, we've got to stop. I've got too much stress going on with everything else. So I thought, let's get what is important at the moment, which was the shed. So I did make a promise on the last video that we would return, and here we are returning. We've got drips down there because we've got a condensation issue up there. I also said about the drawers on the sliding mechanisms on there are not working. Those ones and the one underneath, the ones underneath are failing me miserably. So we've got to finish the shed off so as we can start work on some new slider designs that I've come up with. What we're doing this week is just one simple job. I picked these up out of a fire engine. These were the generator stroke something else, I can't remember. I've got two of them. I thought one would be enough, but one is not going to be enough because I completely forgot that I've got an inverter in here as well. Now what we're doing, instead of having heavy duty plugs to plug into the socket that's on the outside of the lorry tucked away in that locker there, I'm going to have some simple switch over switches somewhere on here or there or somewhere. I'm just not sure where they're going at the moment. So what we're going to do, this first one, as you can see, it's in the off position. So you flick it over, and when I've plugged in the shore power, I flick that over to number 1, and that is diverting the shore power through to the 240 volt sockets that you see that will be scattered around the truck. However, if we're running the generator, we've got switch number 2. Now you can do this from one single switch, so you need a 3-way switch. They're over £50 on the internet. So basically, and this switch don't line up before you judge it. So it's on the off position. So what we do is we flick it over to auxiliary, and then we've got a choice of generator or inverter on 2 separate settings on that one. You can only access this by putting it on number 2. So we'll never get a cross feed of, say, two 240 volt sources. It just won't happen. So what we need to do is we need to wire that in somewhere. I just don't know where at the moment. I haven't got a lot more space left. I was having a hissy fit again. So yeah, that's the plan. We have done a little bit of work today. We've got rid of that garage door. That now currently sits there and resides ready to be chopped up for scrap. We have found a double glazed door sitting behind the other shed doing nothing. That is now fitted, so nobody can see in the shed at that point, and it should isolate some of the noise from within the shed itself. We've just got a blank off that one, and we've got a blank off that one. at some point we're going to be wooding this all out, so there'll be wood everywhere, and we're going to put a proper light in that isn't dangerous. Right, so when you come into the workshop now, you do not have, we have a door, that's gone. The overhead garage door is now no longer, we've removed that, and we've bolted the vise on. That's now solidly fixed with some M12 bolts, and we've moved the tool cabinets from over here to over there. Next job is over there. We've got to clear that shelving unit, which is all of the boxes that was in my living room, plus that 125 has also got some bits on the shelf. So we're going to clear all of that, and we're going to re-site some of the tubs so we, you know, in their proper home, because now we've got all of those drawers, so now we can start shifting stuff about properly. We have all this wood here, which is already painted for me, loads of it. That whole wall is going to be lined. I wanted to put loft insulation behind it, but we just don't have the money for that. So I'm going to cut all the nuts and bolts that are poking out and in my way, and we're going to line the whole of that wall, completely line it. And once we've got that done, we're then going to get this machine, that machine, that machine, plus that whopping great compressor shifted over to the back wall somewhere. So all the rubbish engines have got to come down, all of that has got to go up. Once we've got that done, we'll have a space here, we can shove the engines over there out of the way. This will be out of the way, all of this lot, and we then need to move this to over there where the welder sits, because we're going to put a false wall across, so we're extending that area out, that wall line. And this bench here with this heavy duty bit of steel on it has got to be moved, and that needs to go smack bang in the middle of this room. We're also going to empty this all out and sort out what we're not using and keeping, and we're going to have to put some shelves up over there as well for some of that stuff, because some of that what is in there belongs to those two machines, accessories for them. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Right, well, I've just changed the drawers, the actual sliding mechs. You can see what's happened. That's how it should look, and that's what it is looking like. What I did is I drilled a hole there where that hole is there, and that gave me a reference point, and it's just a question really of riveting on the new ones, using a nut to act as a spacer on the rivet gun, because it won't reach through the little gaps because the rivet tip was too big. Get that first one in, put some ply underneath here to act as a spacer. Don't get me wrong, it's a little, what's happening is that is catching that rivet, or one of the other rivets, I'm not sure which, but other than that, I'm not seeing this as a problem, to be honest. Seeing that as a problem though. So we need to put some stoppers in there, really, a block of steel at the back. Yeah, I know what's just happened. The block at the, yeah, there you go, look, it's flattened it. They're so heavy, these things, it's just flattened it. So yeah, we need to put a tiny bit of angle iron behind there just to stop that from going any further through stuff. I didn't know I owned so many screwdrivers. I found them scattered. I obviously lose them and then I buy another set. So this Christmas and birthday I won't need screwdrivers. Found all of them and all. Didn't know I had half of them. A lot of this has got to be cleaned up. Test meters. Battery's tired. Get a new one, didn't I? That one's empty. That one's empty. And we've been filling this one up as well, but we've got to clear this out. We've got to sort this all out properly. I want to put dividers in each drawer as well, so I know where everything goes. And I've been slowly clearing these out. I mean, random. We need to sort them out. One little short sight on this was that's very high up there, and I have to get the steps to be able to look in there properly. So I reckon it's going to be hammers up there and nothing else. We'll chuck the lid down. We're also going to put a key lock system on here to hide the keys, which will be locked up. And then we're going to, at some point, we've got to get some eyelets run through there and run a big steel bar down that one and on that one. That's all I need. That one I've got the keys for, so I can lock that. I can lock that one as well because I've got the keys for that somewhere. Not sure where, but I have got them. They're in them drawers somewhere. So yeah, we'll be able to lock everything up eventually. Okay, so I believe today is Thursday and the day is now coming to a close. So all that crap on here is gone. These boxes have got to go in my little loft. We've cleared the shelf. We just got to get rid of the rest of the bike stuff, so that'll go on that bench temporarily, just for the time being really. And then the wood we purchased here, we'll cut it outside and bring it back in and fit it. But what we've got to do first is all these screws that are sticking out, I've got to get the grinder on them and just take them off. And then it's just a question of getting some decent sized screws and whacking them on. Now I did pick up 2 extra bits of plywood, and because I've got this thin stuff here, I'm a little reluctant to put that up on the wall. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking one of those pieces of ply that I got on the trailer, replacing that one. Hopefully there'll be enough to do the whole wall then. The spare bit of ply on the trailer will go up here, so we'll clear this next, build that wall out. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to hinge this and a latch down there, so I can swing that open to get something large through if I have to. Hey, we have been very busy today. Wood is up. The whole of that wall is now covered. That is now double. It's going to be really tricky for anybody breaking in. I'm going to have to make a hell of a lot of noise. There's some big machinery going behind it anyway. So that wall is now secure and I'm quite happy about that. I just need a bit more paint. We did a little bit of the ceiling, but the paint is being drunk up by the wood. So we're going to have to spray some more on, and I sprayed that on with a sandblaster. Little handheld sandblaster. We've also fitted a new lock and handles to the door, so this is now a fully secured workshop. I am now happy. Oh, and there's also 2 cameras in here that are now linked to the main monitor in the house, but I'm not going to tell anybody where they are, I'm afraid. So yeah, all is good in the world, as they say. So a few more things to do which we can't do today, we'll do tomorrow. I'm having a hell of a time with this ready paint. The wood's just drinking it and it's driving me nuts. I should have put a sealer in, like a PVA sealer, or better still, fibre resin. I could have done that, to be honest. I've also run out of second-hand emulsions, which is what I'm using. I'm just literally chucking it on as thick as I can get it and wondering why I'm getting covered in the stuff, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we've got 2 of the 3 shelves back up. We're not putting a 3rd one up because I want to get my big compressor underneath there, and then that compressor, and there's another one of those, they're going to go over there under the bench that's just tucked there. They'll all get linked together as one. I'm actually debating about taking the pump off the tank. I'll show you why. The tank is very old and I can't drain it anymore because there's so much muck in it. I'm thinking about just removing that whole section. There's a tray there, get rid of that, and buy at some point an external tank and link all 3 compressors to the external tank with 3 separate pipes going in. Not a lot more I can say on that. So yeah, we've lined that wall. We broke the ply, hence that big piece under there, but it's also handy for sockets to screw to because we've got a few of them going in. I just got to cover that hole up there, which is really annoying me. We've got rid of the drafts over there. We've also put some blank plates up there. We've got a few more. Well, what I'm going to do actually is get the wire brush out tomorrow and just wire brush those corners just to get them a little bit more decorative. And tomorrow also we're going to cut the last of this chippy boardy rubbish. I don't like this stuff much, but we're going to cut that into strips and we're going to run that down the edges. The plan is, right, you're probably wondering what the hell is going on. That door is going to be painted white, and because the strength in the door is gone slightly, but we do have a lean-to on that, I'm going to run a beam at the top to replace that strip of alley. I'm going to put one at the bottom because we're a little rotten at the bottom, and then I shall go straight across the middle and paint those black. The rest of the door is going to be white. We've got to renew those, paint them black, and I want to put a post in there. I want to put a post in there and paint that black so I can put some hanging baskets on it. And that is my quest into cleaning up this shed. Now, we had a beach hut a few years back and it looked absolutely brilliant because I'd given it that Tudor Victorian revival look. But what I want to do next on the conservatory is rip the glass out and put loads of wooden battens in here screwed in, and then put some shiplap across it. We don't need this anymore the way it is. The doors don't shut. I can't even lock that one. I ain't got a key. So we'll put a new door in here, a house door, which will be higher than the roof. So we're probably going to raise the roof up a little bit, and we might put a window in at a slightly higher height, and then raise the roof over there so it looks old. Now, let me show you the inside. As far as I'm concerned, we are almost done, and I'm going to upload this video now because you can get the gist of what's going on. I am thinking about starting another YouTube channel, maybe changing the name of the existing one if I can do that, but they did say when I changed it last time that I couldn't do it again. But I want to I need something unique name wise, and I think something like Tudor, I had it in my head earlier, Tudor Works, or Tudor, I don't know, maybe you guys can come up with something. I've got to have Tudor written in it somewhere. And we've still got the rest of the shed to do anyway, so this is just so I can get all the equipment moved over to this side. Once we've got it all over, we can then clear that mess, and then I can start concentrating on finishing the wall there, continuing across there, and then across there. I also want to bring the wall across to there 4 foot, and then we can start painting up all up there, and then continue on what we're doing. But unfortunately I may not be able to spray up there because I'll muck up all my black. Oh, I don't really want to do that again because it's not an easy job to do. Now we've got one more coat of white to put on. You'll note that I have over wiped a little bit in places. I ain't worried about that. I haven't gone all the way up there, nor have I gone all the way down here, because I plan to put the white up against the edge because that's going to be the easiest of the two evils. So we'll let that dry off, and well, next week with a bit of luck you'll start seeing all this lot being cleaned and shifted. So yeah, we'll start moving all the equipment. We'll start cleaning up all that area over there, throw out more rubbish. I think I'll get rid of my scrap Monday. I'm sure there'll be some more going on the pile. And we've also got to figure out what to do shelf wise over there. We've got 2 bikes to bring in. We've got all of that crap over there to come down because that entire wall on that fence line is rotted. So somewhere we've got to drop. We've got to prop the roof up. We've got to take that wall down. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it. So there's not really much more I can say on the subject. I will say this much. I'm going to disappear now with a goodbye and a thank you. But at the very end of this video, there's 10 minutes. If you're into nature, there is a couple of foxes, about 4 foxes I think in total, that are having a little scrap outside the house at 1 in the morning. If I can get the footage to work, I'm hoping I can, I'll put that up for some of you guys to watch. I want to say thank you very much for your support and your kindness. It's greatly appreciated. It generally is. Don't forget to press the like button up. I'd be very, very grateful if you would do that for me, please, even if you didn't like the video, because that's how the channel gets promoted, and at the moment the channel's not doing very well. I haven't a clue why. I think it's because I won't pay YouTube to advertise it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just an irritating nerd. I don't know. Next week I will do my utmost to make a start on the lorry. I promise I will try and do something, even if it's just making a couple of holes to put some switches in anticipation of wiring them all up. I will do something. I have to. Tune in to the next episode and I'll stop ranting and raving on. Bye. Just there in front, where that tree is. Wished I had a torch. You've got one over there, near where the cars are parked. There we go, there we go, look. There we go. There we go. He sees me. I've got really good hit. I'd say that's it for the night.